Salutations, respected viewers. This is George from Ireland, and here I am in Moscow on Manezhaya Square, and the World Cup is coming up very soon. Strangely, there's a distinct lack of World Cup fever, but there you have it. There is the mascot of the World Cup, Zavyavka. Don't know what this strange creature is supposed to be, heading the ball with the Kremlin behind him. But let's do a very brief tour of Russia. So what do you see behind me there? One of the iconic sites of St. Petersburg. There you have this equestrian statue. It's rearing. I can't remember the significance of this. There's some sort of convention with equestrian statues, depending on which hooves are up, what it says about the one who rode it. And I don't think it's supposed to be St. Peter the Great. So the city that was renamed Petrograd in 1914 because St. Petersburg seemed too German. The city was founded by Peter the Great in 1703, if memory serves. Renamed Leningrad in 1924, just after the death of Lenin, and then returned to its historic name in 1992, just after the fall of communism. All right, so here we have another city where some of the matches are taking place. Saransk, and you see a neoclassical style Orthodox cathedral, 5 domes for the 5 patriarchies of the Orthodox Church, as in, let me see there, Constantinople, Antioch, obviously Moscow, Tyre, I think, can't remember the last one. And there you have Sochi, which is down near the Black Sea in the Caucasus Mountains. See the cable car, it hosted the Olympic Games, Winter Olympics in 2014. This is a very brief tour of Russia, more on our whistle-stop tour. Okay, then we're going to see Samara, which is just west of the Urals Mountains, so inside European Russia, and you can see a huge space rocket about to take off there, and a satellite ready to go around the world, because that's what that city is known for. All the matches are taking place in the European section of Russia, and that's to reduce the amount of travel, because if they took place in the Russian Far East, then the journeys would be very long indeed, even if it were flights. The Russian Federation covers 8 time zones, as you may know, still the largest landmass of any country in the world. Right, Rostov-on-Don, as we call it, and then so there's the River Don. And that's to the south of Russia, obviously fairly far west within the country. Now we've got Nizhny Novgorod, and look at its gigantic tower and the deer beside it. So it's Lower New City. That's what it literally means. It's about 400 miles east of here, so still deep inside European Russia. Okay, we're going to have a look at Yekaterinburg and its magnificent palace, named in honor of Catherine the Great, that German princess who married the Tsar in the mid-18th century, but her husband was a weakling, was mentally incapable of discharging his imperial functions, so she was really the power behind the throne. Not very much behind it, took many paramours, such as Count Potemkin, after whom a battleship was named and all the rest of it. He fooled with all those Potemkin villages. That city was later Sverdlovsk, because that's where the imperial family was done to death on the orders of Yakov Sverdlov. Anyway, and that's where Boris Yeltsin was first mayor. But on to this city, Kaliningrad, formerly Königsberg, which was in East Prussia. It was a German city till 1944. The Red Army marched in there. It was then claimed part of the Soviet Union. So it's a Russian exclave. It does not border any other part of Russia. It borders Poland and Lithuania. So that's that, and there's that magnificent clock tower on it. Okay, we're coming on to Kazan. Kazan is the capital of the Tatar Republic. So Tatarstan is peopled by the Tatars as well as ethnic Russians. So there are people who speak a Turkic language. They're Sunni Muslims mostly, largely secular, and you can see these very pretty minarets and the huge dragon. Not sure what that's about. It's got its own Kremlin, because the Kremlin you know of is over there with the Grand Kremlin Palace. But Kremlin can just mean fortress. So several Russian cities have a Kremlin. The one which is very close to me we call the Moscow Kremlin, in order to avoid confusion, to distinguish it from all of the other ones. So this city I've been to. Okay, so I'm about to film where we are now. So this is Moscow, the Bolshoi Theatre. Construction began in 1824, and it's on the site of a previous theatre which was burnt down. And you can see it's got Corinthian columns, and it's built to that golden mean, the proportions of 8:3, and very opulent it is inside, Baroque style. So the largest theatre in Russia is best known for its opera and ballet, more than actual theatre. Well, ballet, the best of all. It's got the largest ballet company in the world. Okay, Volgograd. In Tsarist times, this is Tsaritsin. And then a battle was fought there in the Russian Civil War. Comrade Stalin was in charge of the Red Army down there, and he stopped a train full of supplies for Baku, said we need them more than they do, and he took them for himself. He claimed this battle was the decisive moment in the Russian Civil War, so it was named in his honor. But then in the 60s it was renamed Volgograd because it sits aside the mighty river Volga, the longest river in Europe. And then you can see this splendid, gigantic statue. This is a colossus to honor the valor and sacrifice of the people who fought there in the Great Patriotic War. Now, so that's that. Russia 2018. Russia has never hosted the Football World Cup before, so it's the biggest sporting event here since the Summer Olympics of 1980. It's going to be a lot bigger than the Winter Olympics, which they had only 4 years ago. What a coup to get it, yeah? And then here a little something to go into. I'm not quite sure what that pavilion is about. So the World Cup, although there are posters up about it, and people are being asked to work in bars or whatever, the run up to the World Cup, and a few officials have arrived. People are not as fervent about it as you'd think. You'd think there'd be fervent support for the team, but people are a little bit muted in their reaction, oddly. The opening matches against Saudi Arabia, also in Russia's group, is Egypt and Uruguay, so should be an easy win against Saudi Arabia. I've been told it might well be even Stevens against Egypt, whereas Uruguay might even give Russia a run for their money. There's the Manege behind me, an indoor parade ground dating from the 1820s. All right, so I shall switch it off now.